Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now March 17th of 2022, and ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2 and The Bad Batch, a lot of Star Wars fans have really been looking forward to what George, John, and Dave have in store for the Star Wars universe, and exactly what they also have planned when it comes to mixing both Star Wars Legends and the Disney canon together into one. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do make sure to post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and interact with you guys further. So it's even all the more exciting right now is that yes, we are getting very close to the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. We got the official teaser trailer just a couple of days ago, and the full-length trailer is already complete. Disney is very much ready to drop this thing by early May, some weeks before the actual show debuts on May 25th on Disney+. However, when it all dwindles down to exactly what's going on between Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they really are doing some big things with the Mandoverse. Now, a lot of fans like to call it the Mandoverse because everything post-Return of the Jedi, for the most part, is going to be involved with Din Djarin in some way or another, as well as Grogu. There's going to be some connections here and there no matter what. And that's what they're trying to keep intact. However, when we all look forward to The Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, this is where things begin to really pick up, because we already know that Mando Season 3 is going to be very extensive with the story of Mandalore and everything ranging from, Grogu and how that's going to become a more complex story that's going to really involve the Force and new Force powers that we're going to learn about. So anyways, I digress. On top of all of that, what's even all the more exciting is exactly what John and Dave have all these tricks up their sleeve for The Mandalorian Season 4, and exactly what's coming our way for a very specific and beloved character from past Star Wars movies. However, with both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni getting ready to begin filming the Ahsoka Tano show by this April, they are also prepared to make some big choices for The Mandalorian Season 4 that they will start to work on in the next couple of months and weeks for, of course, pre-production. It's described that both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni already have extensive plans for The Mandalorian Season 4 that involve specific scenes to be made that have been storyboarded already that have been finalized to be used in the official script. One of which has to do with one of the fan-favorite characters from the prequel trilogy movies, Mace Windu. It's described that currently one of the major scenes that are planned for the 4th season is set to involve both Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano arriving by ship onto a strange new world that holds the location of Mace Windu, where he has been hiding for the past 20 plus years. He is said to be located beneath the ground in an ancient Jedi temple that was specifically built underground to hide from the Sith thousands of years ago. This location is where Mace Windu has lived for the past 2 decades, where both Luke and Ahsoka eventually find their way to the entrance and meet Mace Windu. Now, Mace Windu's design is described to be very unique in Mando Season 4, with a graying beard and a bionic arm, where he is said to sport a black robe of some kind with white stripes running down each arm. Here, Mace Windu is said to be very involved with sharing dialogue about his past and how exactly he survived the fall from Emperor Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith. So let's just pause right here for 1 second before we get to the real interesting stuff. Now, obviously, we are going to have multiple versions of Mace Windu, not just in the Mandoverse, but also in the Mace Windu TV series that's also in very early development. We've been talking about that for the past number of years. Recently, Sam Jackson has been teasing things lately about Mace Windu's return, and we talked about his response just yesterday. That was like the 5th response he has had about Mace Windu coming back into the Star Wars universe. So things are beginning to brew, things are beginning to happen, and there's a lot of things that Lucasfilm are listening to when it comes to the fans raising their opinions and their voices. So just keep that in mind, is that from this point on forward now, Lucasfilm really listens to the fans, because they have John and Dave over there. They got promotions early, in, I guess you could definitely technically say early of this year of 2022, but it was really the very last couple of weeks of 2021 when they got their promotions. Moving on. So on top of all of that, John and Dave are prepared to refilm a scene that involves both Palpatine and Mace Windu fighting against each other, using both new footage and deleted scenes by George Lucas to recreate the famous fight in Episode 3, to where John and Dave will show exactly what happened to Mace Windu in the form of a flashback that is described to be very unexpected as to how he survived exactly. Now, this is said to be actually John and Dave's style by use of flashbacks in multiple Star Wars TV shows, where actor Sam Jackson is set to use de-aging technology to refilm some shots of how he survived the fall by the hands of Emperor Palpatine. One sequence shows Mace Windu walking in an alleyway on Coruscant, holding his severed arm, of course, while wearing some kind of disguise. Mace here is wearing some kind of face wear that appears like a gas mask of sorts, most likely stolen from a bounty hunter in the depths of Coruscant to hide himself in his appearance from bounty hunters on the lookout for surviving Jedi. Now that's a very interesting thing right there, the fact that he's holding his wound, alright, covering where his arm used to be in the depths of Coruscant while he's wearing some kind of strange mask that is best described as gas mask-esque, or similar to a gas mask, alright? Now, that obviously points toward bounty hunters, because we already know that Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, it's going to have a lot more bounty hunters involved, and obviously the fact that they introduced Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett, it just goes to go ahead and show you that bounty hunters coming into the equation is going to be a big deal, either in present time or in the use of flashbacks, either or. They are going to be relying on that a lot when it comes to Din Djarin's story from now on. So that's a good thing, that's good news, because that kind of really adds more to the story, but I digress. The thing about Mace Windu here is that this really does expand the story of not only Revenge of the Sith, but also what happens after Revenge of the Sith, basically showing us everything that happened after Order 66, Mace Windu's survival, where he went, where he was hiding after his injuries, how he survived, literally getting thrown out the window by use of Force lightning by Palpatine. We're going to be learning all about this in 2023 around the holiday season. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to Mando Season 3, it's not looking like we're going to be getting this thing in October, because Andor is going to be releasing in August, and they want to actually create a nice gap in between each TV show. A great example, Kenobi's in May, Andor's in August. So it doesn't look like it's going to be happening in October. It's looking like we're going to be getting Mando Season 3 in December, and Mando Season 4 could very well follow the same exact path. So we still got a ways until we're going to be able to see this. Now, beyond that, the dialogue planned by both John and Dave Filoni for Mace Windu is said to be very involved and detailed, and will be a story of its own in the very important episode of Mando that will begin shooting sometime in early 2023. The elderly version of Mace Windu telling this story is actually described to sound very old and tired, however very powerful, as well as John and Dave will explore his strengths even in his older years. Here, Mace Windu is also sitting next to Luke and Ahsoka while telling this entire story. So, like I say, guys, I mean, John and Dave have a lot of plans for Mace Windu, you know, not just this entire thing of what's about to happen in Mando Season 4, but they also plan to eventually, and I say eventually because it's not going to happen in the 4th season, but they do plan to actually tell us, the fans, how Mace Windu dies of natural causes. And that would really explain as to why we hear his Force ghost in The Rise of Skywalker, right? When he speaks to Rey at the very end of the movie. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.